Hey everybody, Yostakosis here, good to see you. I've got a very exciting shave of the day for you today. I will be reviewing Sē'bum Green. I was graciously sent the set from Rick Sproul over at Sē'bum Gold. Like I said, I have the soap in green, and I have the post-shave serum in green. You guys look at the packaging here real quick before we get into it. I don't know if you have seen my unboxing. I will link it down below if you would like to check it out. Beautiful, all natural, all 100% recyclable material. We've got a wood cork, wood labeling, even the varnish and the glue. Everything that was used in the packaging is all natural and recyclable. Let me show you the serum again. I will tell you, I have shaved with the soap 3 times already. This will be my 4th shave with it today, so I already have a good impression on what I'm thinking about the set. I've been using the oil for 4 days now, twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. Put about a dime nickel-sized amount on my face. Now, a lot of you guys really don't know very well, but I used to have some really big lines under my eyes right here. If I squint, you can see they're kind of coming back. But these were a lot more noticeable until I started using this. So I will tell you, based off the use of the 4 days, my skin has smoothed out. It is much, much more soft to the touch, more of an even tone, and the wrinkles around my eyes have really diminished. And like I said, that's only 4 days use. So super impressed with this so far. But let's talk about the soap and the serum put together. I'm gonna get right into the shave. A couple things I do want to mention about this after using it a few times. I like to, when I'm done shaving, I like to take hot water and rinse the soap out of the inside of the container, give it a nice clean layer, so when it's done you can just go right into it next. But with this one, it doesn't lather that well when you go in with a very wet brush. A dry brush lathering technique is recommended, and that's what I have found to be the most successful. And plus, even though these wood labels are varnished, I still tend to get some water staining on it. And the very first time that I did put it in the water, it started to make the label peel just a little bit. So I've learned to be extra careful with this, just because I don't want these gorgeous labels to come off by any means. So dry brush definitely recommended. Let's get into today's shave so you guys can get a good idea of what's all about this set. I will be using my Wild West Brushworks, the synthetic cobalt knot. Be using my gorgeous Schick injector that was custom refabricated by North Shore Razors. Now, the scent on this one is very natural, very woodsy, with strong moss, a little bit of citrus, everything there again. All the ingredients are all natural, very high end, and this here comes in a 7 ounces of soap in this container, and it weighs a little over 3 pounds just from the huge thick glass that is on this container. Let's get into a quick shave, guys, and let you know my thoughts. Hope everybody's having a good day. Today is Memorial Day. Now, in case some of you don't know what a dry brush technique is, you get your brush wet, then you take it, you wring out the extra so it's just damp. Then go into the container, load up for a good 15-20 seconds. Smell coming off the puck is probably about a 6. Now see, the scent like this is not something that I would prefer to wear on a daily basis, but then again, it's light enough to where you could, follow it up with an EDT of some sort, and you wouldn't really mix it with this. I don't think the scent is in here meant to be as a projection, more or less just as a scent to have. And this scent here is, even though it's not my favorite, it is timeless because it's not tied to a fragrance of any kind. It's just an outdoorsy, woodsy, very nice, pleasing scent, very clean. Had my son smell it the other day, and he said he could smell it for days. He said he really enjoyed it. So with your with your dry brush technique, you've loaded up a bunch of soap into your brush heater, and then you start to apply. Now I'm going to wet my face real quick. And then I'm going to start with the brush by putting on the soap. The soap is extremely thirsty, so I found the best way to work this soap in is with the dry brush technique. Get it started, then start adding a few drops of water into your brush and continue working. And you'll know when it's right because all of a sudden the lather will just explode. Until then, you're going to get kind of this thick, dry, pasty lather. I do prefer synthetic knots. I do recommend synthetic knots with this soap. You can use either one, but I've just had better results lathering with a synthetic knot. And I've used several different ones. I've used my turtle ship, which is a lot softer. I've used here this one that's a lot thicker. I also have used a badger brush. Now see, I'm getting a decent lather build now, but it's still very, very dry. So I'm going to add more water to my brush and continue lathering. But you'll know, like I said, here we go. Now we're starting to get a lot thicker, starting to get that nice sheen. Making a mess as usual. That's part of the fun, right? Gonna add a little more water to my brush. Now play around with it. You know, if you guys decide to get it, play around with it. But definitely this is a technique that I have found to be the most successful. Alright, I'm going to add just a tiny bit more water to my brush here. We're going to do this one more time. There we go. So not hard to lather, but just a little bit different technique. And I exercise being careful with trying not to get any water on the container itself, just because the labels being wood, I like my stuff looking really nice. Now, let me show you something. Let me get this off the brush here. Show you how dense and luxurious and creamy this lather is. I wish it would focus. There we go. Extremely yogurty, very yogurty. Even the consistency is just super creamy and thick and dense. You guys can see that there, it looks great. So very nice, very thick, very creamy lather. I'm gonna rinse my hands off here real quick since I'm playing with my lather, and we're gonna get into the shave. So this is a set here. Like I said, I think the retail cost for the soap and aftershave serum is $220. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a soap and an aftershave, especially when everything on the market already is extremely expensive. This here puts it in a whole nother category. Initial impression on the soap, slickness is very, very good. Slickness is great. The scent, like I said, stays about a 6 throughout the shave. But it does open up when you get it wet. I get a lot more moss and a tiny bit more citrus. Nice, dense, thick, creamy lather. The blade I am using today is about my 5th shave on this injector blade. So I'm not getting quite the best shave I could be today. We're getting a great slickness off the soap. As you can see, well granted, I run through it quickly anyway. There's no issues whatsoever. Now, I'm going to add some water here for residual. As far as residual slickness goes, this is where I have found it to be its weakest point. I think residual slickness is lacking. This is my 4th shave with it, like I said. I had the best residual slickness actually today than I have before. Residual slickness though, I tend to find of all the times I have lathered with different brushes and slightly different techniques, that residual slickness is still its weakest point. It's not a game, it's not a deal killer, but it's something for $75. You would think there wouldn't be that many issues. I always like to leave it here in my beard as well because it just does a great job as far as making my beard feel good and healthy. I do that with all the soaps though. Let me rinse off real quick. I'm going to talk about this a little more. All right. There we go, looking good. So immediately getting that good post-shave glow feeling. Everything is nice and hydrated. I have shaved with it a few times before, like I had said, and I purposely waited before I put the serum on, and it's not needed. You do get a nice moisturized feeling just from the soap alone, so like most soaps nowadays, you don't need an aftershave if not needed. But we are going to use a serum, so I'm going to put that on right now to add it on top of it. I will tell you, mixing the two of these together, the soap and the aftershave, is heavenly. The feeling that leaves your skin after using the soap and the serum, by the way, that's about all you need. Oops, I'm losing it. About a nickel or dime size amount. I think the serum's strength of the scent is a little stronger than the soap itself. I like to put through my beard too. It makes my beard crazy soft. And you see, I'm getting a little bit of a shine, but it's not really oily. And it absorbs very, very quickly into my skin, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and even the stuff that's on my hands that's a little greasy right now will immediately absorb and dissipate. I don't feel like I need to actually rinse my hands off or wash them. It actually goes away pretty fast. So there we go, getting a great shave, mixing the serum on top of it. My skin feels so hydrated and glowing right now, it's crazy. But let's get down to it. Let's talk about the product because this is a very difficult product to sell for Rick. And there's not much out on the internet as far as reviews that what I can tell. So let's talk about this a little more in depth. All right guys, let me give you my final thoughts on Sē'bum Green and the products as a whole. This is going to take a little while to explain. I'm sorry if it gets a little confusing, but I want to be open and transparent as possible. I'm going to review and recommend, talk about each one of these products separately. I'm going to start with the serum, and then I'm going to talk about the soap. As far as the serum here, you're looking at a 5-ounce container for $150. The research I've done, there's really nothing on the market. There's nothing on the market that looks like it. Let's put it that way. As far as packaging goes, Sē'bum has the market on lock. I mean, nothing looks this gorgeous and is put together this well. So presentation, packaging is top notch. Gorgeous thing. But you're looking at $150 for also what's inside. Now using it for my 4th or 5th day on my face, I am noticing a much better complexion. My skin always feels great. I always can't stop touching my face. The wrinkles around my eyes have slowly started to fade. Obviously they're still there, but they have gone down tremendously, even within the first day. So do I recommend this for $150? Yes, I do. Now here's how I would justify it. If I was out purchasing this, and before when I would pick up 2 or 3 releases a month from different artisans, I couldn't justify this. But if you guys are spending $60 to $75 per new release, skip 3 or 4 of the next releases and treat yourself with something like this, because I think you're really going to be impressed. And I think that's the only way that I personally could justify this. I don't have the disposable income to just drop this on a $150 bottle. But I think for what he's offering in the packaging, I think the price is justifiable, and I think the performance speaks for itself, and I'm very impressed. So yes, high price point, but I do recommend it. If it's something you guys can work out as far as the cost goes and can afford it, definitely pull the trigger on this one. I think you're going to be super satisfied with just the performance on this. Now, when it comes to the soap, you're looking at 7 ounces of soap in like a 3-pound container with the glass and everything else. The packaging, once again, is on point. Looks fan-freaking-tastic. Nothing in my den looks like anything in this. People walk in, they're going to look at this and be like, man, what is that? So there again, you're paying for gorgeous packaging, a great container, and good soap. But you're looking at $75 for this. Now, if I were to be purchasing the soap on its own for $75, I would not purchase this personally. It's a very, very good soap, very top tier soap, and I'm getting great performance. The only thing that I found it lacked on for me personally was residual slickness. I got a little better today, with a little bit different technique of brushing, or with my brush technique, but all in all, the biggest disappointment I had was the residual slickness. But for $75, I personally cannot justify the soap purchase alone. I think there's plenty of great soaps on the market as it is right now, that even for the beautiful packaging and all that, if you're just going to buy the soap, it's not worth the cost. But being said that, now having used the soap in conjunction with the serum, the post-shave is unlike anything else I've ever tried. Whatever's in the soap, whatever's in this, when the powers combine, the post-shave I get is incredible. Absolutely incredible. But using the soap by itself, I can't justify that. But if you guys want to get the full Sē'bum experience, which as I said was $220, that is something that I think potentially could be achievable. You have birthdays, you have Father's Day, or like I said, if you guys can pull off on some of the mail calls, I think this is a worthy set. But I think where my money, if I'm purchasing these products, and when I run out, I will be personally repurchasing this serum, but I will not repurchase the soap. I think personally, this is where my money would go, and I think this is where the product really shines. Soap is great, but the serum is much better, and therefore I can justify the price on this over the soap. So guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Please leave comments down below. If you have any more questions, stay tuned for the interview on June 1st, 2019 with Rick Sproul from Sē'bum Gold. And I hope you guys enjoyed my interview. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Smash like if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. But like I said, leave comments down below if you have any more questions about Sē'bum or my process or any of his products, because I think this is something very, very good. And it's something that can really pamper your skin. And I think the serum is fantastic. And I think it is worth the price. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. And I'll catch you in the next episode.